So you found a job posting about a position inside an animal shelter. Should you take it? To better understand work inside an animal shelter, I spoke with 2 animal care workers about a variety of shelter realities, starting with how they found themselves here.
I've been at the Welland District SPCA since 2008. So, 9 years? I have an animal care certificate. I did a 1-year course at Sheridan College.
After working in zoo-type settings, I decided that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I took an animal care course.
I also did a co-op starting at the shelter in grade 12. That's how I got my start at the shelter.
Background in animal care or vet assistant would be ideal, or experience with animals before working in a shelter.
A typical day starts with coming in, checking all the animals.
Seeing if any animals came in overnight, doing a quick health check. Starting
your general cleaning, making sure animals are medicated, their cages are cleaned, and moving on throughout the day doing the same thing.
At 10 a.m., the shelter opens to the public. Immediately, the phones begin to ring and someone arrives to claim a lost dog. 30 minutes later, a man brings in his sick 14-year-old cat for euthanasia. Working with animals presents challenges one would find in few other occupations.
Some of the challenges would definitely be having to euthanize animals, but there's also dealing with the amount of animals coming in.
Not wanting to take everybody home.
Dealing with some of the public that are definitely not as courteous as they should be.
Having to set emotions aside, because sometimes you deal with certain circumstances that can be emotional. Being cautious of different diseases and not transferring possibly infectious diseases to other animals.
But overall, it's definitely a decent job.
Disease is a constant concern in a building full of animals, often with unknown medical histories. Protocols are put in place to minimize the spread of pathogens.
So protocol to not transfer diseases would be to wear booties, make sure you're wearing a separate scrub top than you're wearing throughout the shelter. Change your gloves every kennel. When you're cleaning a kennel, keep one hand clean and have a dirty hand. So take everything out with the one hand that's dirty, and also wipe down the kennel with the one hand and put everything back in with your clean hand. That's really hard to do. It takes months to learn that, because you want to use both hands, right?
A man rushes into the shelter. He's discovered a badly injured cat. Unfortunately, the cat died on the way to the shelter. The body will be kept for a week and then sent for cremation if no owner comes forward.
Well, it's not as easy as it looks. It can definitely be mentally and physically draining at the end of the day.
And it does have some moments that are difficult.
And it's not a job that you can just go home and turn it off. It's definitely something that you think about after hours.
However, it's very rewarding. It's an honoring experience to be the difference in the lives of the animals that are in our care.
While many new animal care workers wash out early due to the emotional strain, certain characteristics will offer an advantage.
Somebody who definitely loves animals, but is definitely able to be practical as to the decisions that need to be made.
Somebody who is versatile and realistic would do best in this line of work, and also somebody who's hardworking.
But suffering animals aren't all that find themselves visiting a shelter. Often behind the pet is a suffering human.
There are a lot of tough things. I mean, obviously watching people surrender their pets who may have been a part of their life for a long time. Animals that might come in that are emaciated or ill, seeing them in that type of body frame can be difficult sometimes, right? Like the emaciated animals, like I had said. That can be very difficult. And also trying to gauge what their history is, because you don't know anything about these animals, so you're trying to figure them out, right?
The seasons play a large role in shelter operations. A worker hired in the fall or winter should be aware that spring and summer will amplify the challenges they face.
Well, in the summer, you see a lot more animals come in with things like botfly.
Very fast pace and a lot of animals are coming in.
A lot more fleas to deal with. Plus, I find that we discover heartworm in a lot more animals in the warmer seasons.
It's definitely much more chaotic and busy.
In the winter, we still have animals coming in, but not as many as we would in the summer. And also in the summer, we have a lot of kittens that come in, puppies.
The winter time is definitely considered our slow time. There's definitely a lot of animals still coming in.
It's a lot busier in the spring and summer than in the winter for sure.
It's not a job for everybody. Definitely try doing a volunteer position first to see if it's something that you're cut out to do or that you enjoy doing before you get into a job that is maybe not for you.